Welcome to Toby's Sideshow of Scale Styrene.
So for those who don't know, I actually run two YouTube channels. One of them is called Knife Chats with Tobias, and then there's this one here, Toby's Sideshow of Scale Styrene or something like that. I really haven't done anything with this channel in some time, but apparently I'm not the only model builder who also is a knife nut. There's another one of us out there, and he recently won one of my giveaways over on the knife channel, and that's Old Tom Rambler 69. And so when he won that, I knew him being a model builder. I also sent him a model along with the giveaway that he won, and he called me out, he gave a shout out to me, and told people about my model channel on his channel. And well, I haven't really done anything on this channel for a while, but it seems like I better start, because a couple of you guys came over from Old Tom and actually subscribed to my channel. And if you're going to subscribe to my channel, I should be able to give you a little bit of content other than what's already up here, which is really kind of old, just like this model here is kind of old. This is a Circus Wagon. I built it when the Circus Wagon was first re-released, and called the Circus Wagon instead of the Dragon Wagon. And you see, I did not do it in the red and gold or red and yellow. I did it in white, purple, and gold. And I actually did things like, if you can see here, I highlighted the bullet gas tank, and the little monkey on the top there are also in gold, and little other details. Nothing fancy, nothing great. As you notice, I did not wire the engine or anything like that. I'm not one of those builders that can do that kind of stuff, as well as so many of you other model builders out there. But I do like building them, and I'm actually working on another Circus Wagon now. I think I got about 4 of them in the stash. And so I didn't buy them to keep them in the stash. I bought them to build them, because this is probably one of my favorite Tom Daniel models. And I've got quite a few Tom Daniel kits that I will also have to show, and also some that I need to build. Any case, last year I was anticipating Dirk Pitt and Chris Cortell over there at Classic Plastics 101 of doing another Tom Daniel group build last year, but they didn't do that. But didn't really matter to me, because I was already planning on building another Dragon Wagon for that group build. And so with or without the group build, I decided to start building a Dragon Wagon. And I started that last year, and decided this one was going to be green and copper, well, copper trim on the Tamiya. I don't know what shade of green that is. I think they call it a light green, but it's a nice medium green. I like it. Think of it as a zombie green. It's a really nice shade of green. This is one of my favorite shades of green for car models. So I decided I was going to do that, and again with purple trim. I actually talked a little bit about this on I think Classic Plastic 101, the Facebook group. In any case, I started working on it, but I just kind of it went in the box, and I stopped. But I am starting again, and if you notice, there's a little bit of a difference here. Notice the bars are now solid. They're not bent or anything, and you see the green and purple. I'm still touching up a lot of this, but the biggie is I've cut out the back here, and I'm going to actually have it opened up, because the Dragon, which I have also already painted up, he's actually an olive drab with a gloss coat over it, and then a lightly brushed with gold, and then the fins down the back is in the same shade of green as the model is here. So he's going to be that way, and I think he's got I don't know, black eyes, purple eyes, something like that. any case, red tongue and all the other stuff. Same exact dragon as we have in the kit there. What I plan on doing also is taking one of the other dragons and actually cutting him up and moving him around a bit, changing the way he looks and everything. We'll see how that goes. But as you see, he's going to be outside the cage, and we've also done some work on the roof here. You'll see. Let me just inset that video here. So for the roof, I'm going to need to get another coat of black on there and get it nice and sanded and finished nicely. And then, as you notice, I've cut the hatch out, and I've actually framed it around the edges so that the hatch will drop down on there. The hatch is in green, like the color of the body. And then what I plan on doing is passing a pin through there and crazy gluing it on the outside hinges so that the roof hatch will actually open and close. If it's going to work or not, I don't know. If it doesn't work, then what I'm going to do is just say screw it and just glue the hatch in the open position. But I would much prefer to have the hatch open and close. I'm not crazy about how large the latch is here, but I can live with that. And then what I'm going to also do is put a little loop here for a padlock, and then put a brace over here for like where a padlock would be, and that'll just be opened up though. So I will have it open for like feeding or whatever. So that's where the roof is going on my circus wagon. Okay, and so that's what I'll be doing with the roof. And I'm also working on a dragon tamer. And anyone who's familiar with the Master Box figures, this one is out of the Edge of the Universe Strange Companies adventure, and I believe her name is Jacqueline. She's supposed to be the grifter, but I saw her, and I saw the top hat and everything, and I said, okay, she can be my dragon tamer because she's got the pistol and everything else. And she is actually built straight out of the box, so I'm going to have to try and figure out how I'm going to actually pose her, because she's not going to be sitting on a stool. I'm thinking she is going to be somehow in here or on the stairs or something, or she's going to be on a barrel or something and then resting against something. So I'm going to have to find a way to pose her with her pet dragon. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do that too, because I'm actually building an entire circus with the dragons and other animals that you would find in a fantasy circus besides dragons. So yeah, there will be elephants and there will be other animals, but also some fantasy animals and some other characters. I'm going to have a four-legged clown, and oh yeah, here's something else. I also built a calliope, or what normal people would call a calliope, and this is actually going to also be put onto a wagon of some sort, and this will be sitting on the back of a of one of the other circus wagons. It'll be the calliope wagon. The reason I'm calling it a calliope is because in circus lingo, the calliope is actually called a calliope. For those who don't know, it's basically a steam organ. But you see, I handmade this, my own keyboard and everything else, and all the steam pipes and everything. I've got to make a larger container for behind it for the steam, and then also there'll be a stool in front, and then a six-legged calliope player, or four-armed calliope player will be sitting here, who is a little dwarf, also from the Edge of the Universe thing. So it's going to be a whole kind of fantasy circus kind of thing that I'm working on. The engine, so that all the engines aren't the same, Anyone familiar with Tom Daniel kits knows that he has a tendency to use the old, what was it, the 296 Cobra engine or a 350 engine. Many of the engines in his kits are in these in the Tom Daniel kits are the same engine, so with just different dressing on it. The engine for a paddy wagon is the same engine that is in the Dragon Wagon. So I'm going to swap out the Dragon Wagon engine in my next in this Circus Wagon with the engine from the Paddy Wagon. So I'm going to have to see how I'm going to work on that. So and it'll be like so, straight pipes on the side, and then I will probably not use the fenders here. I'll use these fenders somewhere else, possibly in a different version of a hangman, because I've always wanted to do something like that with the hangman. Also, is get these kind of fenders on a hangman. So there's what I'm working on right now. As you see, a lot of this is just ready to be built and then touched up and stuff. So yeah, I'm one of those weird people who paints the model before they build it, so I have to do a lot of touching up afterwards, but that's the way I am. Any case, that's what I am up to right now, among other things. And I think what I'll do for my channel here, the model building portion of my channel, I will I'll be giving you information about this kit as I'm working on it, but I will also put up a couple videos in the meantime of kits that I have built in the past that I have not bothered to do a video on. So it'll be complete builds and stuff, but I'll explain a little bit about what I did in the build at least. And as you can probably tell from my channel already, I build all sorts of things besides just cars. Used to be very big and heavy in armor and such, but mostly it was tanks and show cars and monster models, and that's what you're going to see a lot of on this channel. But this one here is going to be a rather big diorama I'm working on. I'm also working on another big diorama involving the old Aurora witch model. Remember the witch? Yeah, I've got her. I'm working on that one too, so I'll get that out, and then I'll put all this together, and I'll get back to you. So I am working on models. I do more than just knife videos, and what I will do is at least try and get a video up about a model about at least every other week or so. But this will be kind of the reboot of my my model channel for a bit. Thanks for listening. Sorry for the rambling, but you'll see that's kind of the way I go about these things. And now the other thing I got to figure out is how I'm going to get these two very curvy parts to fit, because man, they just do not really fit right at all. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Tom Daniel, when he designed this, I don't think he realized that those hinges would never work in real life. But then he wasn't looking at real life, he was looking at fantasy.
Thanks for visiting Toby's sideshow of scale styrene. If you liked what you saw, please take a moment to subscribe. And if you want to be notified of future episodes, don't forget to ring that bell. Thanks again.